So I think it would come as no surprise to anyone here that, I really, really like the Sega Saturn. And I'll tell you what, I've got a decent collection of Sega Saturn games. Most of them are Japanese, but I do have a few US games. And I've got one major problem with the US games I've got. The cases on these games, they suck. I mean, they break, and the tabs break, they don't close. I mean, I've got some decent games, but they just look like crap on my shelf. So today, we're going to take a look at a little replacement that's out by VGC Online. They've come up with actual replacement cases for the Sega Saturn, PS1, and Sega CD. So today we're going to take a look at them. We'll tell you what's good, what's not good, and maybe some tips and tricks to make them a little bit better. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. So here's where I picked up the cases. I got them from Amazon. You can see it's actually a pretty decent deal. I mean, $40 for 20 cases, that's $2 a case. That's pretty reasonable. So yeah, I went ahead and picked them up, and sure enough, I got same-day delivery, which is fantastic. Literally same-day delivery. And when I got home, this is what showed up. I thought the cases were pretty well protected. You can see they're in a bubble mailer, and then individual cases were each wrapped in bubble wrap on top of that. So, I mean, first impression out the box, I was pretty happy because that's pretty well protected for these cases. The other thing I noticed outside the box, these look really good. I mean, they are absolutely crystal clear, which is fantastic and something I never see in Sega Saturn cases these days. So we've already established they look really good, but let's see how they work. Let's go ahead and do a little swap over here with this NHL 97. Alright, so as I open up this replacement case and I'm taking a pretty good look at it, there's zero resistance on this CD insert. I mean, it's like that tray isn't being held in at all. Normally there's tabs that would hold it in, and it's not doing anything. It's like not even held in. It's not very good. The good news is here you can actually kind of fix this and use the legacy CD tray, and it actually works really well. It snaps right in perfectly. So interestingly, this wasn't like the only case like that. They actually all were like that. So I'm not really sure what happened in the manufacturing process, but for whatever reason, they all kind of just turned out where the tray doesn't stay in there very well. So let's do one more of these in real time and just show you how easy it is. I mean, literally this takes almost no time at all to make the swap. Okay, with the swap pretty much complete over here, there's one other thing I kind of want to point out, and this was the case with virtually every single case that I had. You're going to see me kind of try to, snap the lid closed, so to speak, and you're going to notice it doesn't really close. It comes open very, very easily, and you can see it just kind of, you don't have to do much, it just flips right open. There's no resistance holding it in place at all. For comparison's sake, let's go ahead and grab a normal or an old Sega Saturn case. Look at the amount of force and resistance I'm putting on that case, and it does not come open. So there was definitely something that happened in the manufacturing process that does not allow that lid to stay closed. But, I've got some ideas. I hate to just come here and give a review and not offer some solutions, so let's get into a way that I found to kind of fix this. So to pull off this mod, if you want to call it that, it's super easy. You just need some super glue and a couple toothpicks. And I'm going to go ahead and show you the area that we'll be focusing in on here. You can kind of see there's a groove or a rut, and there's a little nub on the other side of the case that kind of goes in there and holds it closed. So currently there's no resistance between those two, and they're not properly making contact, which is why the case is not staying closed. So let's get into how to do the mod. The trick here is to use very little super glue. You do not want to use a lot. The trick is just to put a little bit on the end of the toothpick, and we are going to create a little bit of space in front of the groove or the rut where the nub is going to ultimately go in. So let's go ahead and take a look exactly how I'm doing that.
So now that I got you guys zoomed in extremely close here, you just want to touch this to right in front of that groove. You do not want to push hard. You just want to literally just touch it so the glue just sits right on there. Once you've completed that, you should have a little bit of glue left on your toothpick, and you want to add just a little bit of super glue to that dot right there. That's that little nub that I've been talking about. You just want to quickly dab that on there and clean up any excess. Once you've completed that, the mod is pretty much done. The two key takeaways I'd say are, 1, allow ample time to let this dry, and 2, you're probably going to need to apply 2 or 3 coats of this to make it fully function. So just to kind of show you the results of this, I've got 2 cases lined up. The Virtual Fighter 2's had nothing done to it, and you can see it just falls right open, just like before. The copy of Madden 98's had about 3 coats put on it, so let's see how that does. So as you can see, it's better. It's certainly not perfect by any stretch, but it's much better than before, so at least this offers a viable alternative. So I guess we're at the part of the video now where I'm going to give you kind of my final thoughts on this thing. So for what it's worth, I mean, at $2 a case, is it worth it? I think the answer is maybe. I think if you got the inner tray still, it's probably worth it. If you don't, it's probably not. My buddy Patrick, who pointed these out to me, also reached out to the manufacturer as he ran into some of the similar issues that I did. The manufacturer let us know that they're currently working to fix some of these issues that they have, and they will be going ahead and, getting those taken care of in the next batch. Is that actually going to happen? I don't know. But like I said, for $2, I think it could be worth it, just depending on kind of how you would, assess your situation, if you have the right parts and if you can live with the fact that they kind of flip open. The other thing I would point out is in the actual description on Amazon, they do call out in there that there are some defects and deficiencies with the case. Well guys, that'll take care of this review, but make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, because I've got some awesome modifications coming up in one of the next ones. Alright guys, have a good one. See you later.